Have you ever trusted God for something, but when the waiting got hard, you took matters into your own hands? I sure have. And that's exactly what we find in Genesis 15 and 16. In Genesis 15, Abram has been following God, but he still doesn't have that one thing God promised: a son. He's getting older, and doubt starts creeping in. He asks, Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless? God responds with a powerful moment. He takes Abram outside and tells him, Look up. Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be. And then comes one of the most important verses in the whole Bible. It says, Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. That's Genesis 15:16. Abram didn't have proof, he only had God's word. But he believed, and that faith was counted as righteousness. And that takes us to Genesis 16. But as time passes, Abram and his wife Sarai grow impatient. They decide to help God fulfill his promise. Sarai gives her servant Hagar to Abram so she can bear a child for them. It was a common custom at the time, but it was not God's plan. Hagar conceives, and immediately tension rises. She despises Sarai. Sarai mistreats her and she runs away. But in her lowest moment, God sees her. An angel of the Lord appears and tells her, The Lord has heard of your misery. He tells her to return, and she gives God a powerful name, El Roi, the God who sees me. So, what does this have to do with us today? First, faith means trusting even when we can't see. Abram believed, and God counted it as righteousness. Are you trusting God even when the wait is long? Second, trying to force God's timing leads to problems. Sarai and Abram's decision brought conflict. Are you waiting on God's plan or rushing ahead with your own? And last, God sees you even in your struggle. Hagar was alone, afraid, and mistreated, but God saw her. Do you believe he sees and cares for you too? Abram had faith, but he also had moments of failure. Yet God's promise still stood. Are you trusting God's plan or trying to make your own way?